Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you the speed up version of the Art Joy of Sharing live stream channel episode today from Thursday the 14th. We were inspired by the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group Mood Board today. Every month we have a mood board and it's there to inspire you to create art, whether it is using the pictures or the shapes or the colors. You can choose what looks interesting to you, and you can make anything from an ATC or a card or a tag or an art journal page or even a full something you hang on the wall type art, or paint a t-shirt or paint some shoes or whatever you want to do, just inspired by this mood board. Gets you in the mood to do some art, gives you some inspiration. So today we did it. We did what we wanted to do on the live stream, and I decided to work again in my art journal that's made out of gel print cardstock that's been printed on both sides and sewed together with twine. And I felt like working in it again. So this particular gel print was very strange. It had this bunch of different weird colors at the bottom that were kind of dark and smushy, and then it had this one print of a Tim Holtz alphabet stencil that, they're shaped like a tag, and they're kind of the size of a large tag, and that was on the top with some white and black edges, and then the bottom just had a bunch of colors. And so I decided to work on this one because, for one, it had some of the colors I was looking for. On the mood board has a little palette that is picked out of the pictures, and it had orange, yellow, kind of a lavender, a fuchsia, and then a dark blue. And so those colors were kind of on the page. And also this month, our theme all month long of April is using creative lettering in your art. And I do think it's fun to use letters as a graphic element in my backgrounds. There's lots of ways to do that. One of the ways is to use stencils in your work. And so this one had stencils, right, already on the background. And then I'm just trying to integrate the colors and the shapes and trying to make it all a cohesive background. I decided to just be kind of single focus today for my mood board inspiration and use mostly just the color palette, and then this picture in the center, which is a sunflower on kind of a sunset dark background. And the bottom of the photograph is very dark. And so I thought that it would work well with this. I also thought it would be fun to play with different ways of using letter stencils on your page. And this particular stencil, made by, I believe, Deco Art, is a mask type stencil that has the whole alphabet on it. And rather than just using it as in its entirety the way it is, I decided to pick out the letters that would spell sunflower and then use this night colored paint. It's a very, very, very dark blue, almost black, which I was trying to pull in this dark blue off the mood board, which I went a little bit darker. But blue, purple, yellow, orange. These are great colors together. Also, of course, there's some green on the page already, which is fine because I'm going to make a sunflower which has green stem and leaves. So that was all cool. And I'm keeping the page the way it is with the light and the dark split, but I'm adding shape via the graphic design of letters, and also just some paint to integrate everything together so that it doesn't look quite as split. And I still, at this point, have a big split. I have this line up at the top, which continues to irritate me through the entire process. It is the edge of the stencil that has created a line on the gel print, and I just wanted it gone. So I was using a combination of some fuchsia and white to try to kind of, start to calm down that line in the top part there. Still haven't succeeded yet. And at some point, I look at the picture again. I think it must be coming up soon. I look at the picture and I realize that the horizon line is actually yellow. And so I grab a couple tubes of Naples yellow paint, which are two different brands and two different colors completely. I decide to pick this one that's from Masters Touch, which is the brand that Hobby Lobby has. And it's a lot more orange tone Naples yellow. And I decided that that would be perfect to just kind of put in the center on the horizon line in my background. And it would kind of break up that real defined, this is the top, this is the bottom situation, just like on the photograph of the sunflower. So I am using a different stencil. I believe it's also from Deco Art. Might have been designed by Andy Skinner, maybe. I think his are the ones with the squares. But anyway, I don't know that these stencils are still available because I've had them for a long time. But you can go out and look for them, or maybe I will look and leave drop a link for you below the video. Maybe. But this one has things like be happy, live, love, life. I think, live, love, whatever the saying is. Breathe. And these are things I need to hear today. I haven't produced any art since last Thursday when we had the live show because I've been in such a foul mood. I don't know what it is. Is it spring fever? Is it allergies? Is it just the fact that my life is annoying me? But I have not been in the mood to create art. So you guys who follow along closely on my channel have probably noticed there have not been any videos. And I'm going to try to remedy that. It's all about attitude and how you're feeling when you're trying to create art. It's hard to break through that, but it does help to just go into the studio and do something. And that's what I should have been doing, is just go in the studio, do something. It doesn't matter if it turns out beautiful or whatever, but I just haven't been able to get myself to do it this week. So I'm pretty happy with my background now. I've made this. I put this extra yellowy orange color in the middle, and I like how that looks. And so I decided to do some torn paper collage. So I'm picking out interesting colored paper from my baskets. That was my brown basket. Here's my yellow basket. I'm grabbing some different colors of yellow, and the smaller basket on top has tinier pieces. The basket underneath has bigger pieces. And this is how I sort and store all my gel prints and extra papers and all kinds of, there's all kinds of stuff in there. All kinds of paper that I save. So I pulled out some from my yellow, some from my orange, and then now I'm getting some green so that I can create a sunflower. There's been a lot of sunflower art created for to support Ukraine. Apparently that is their flower, and of course the blue and yellow colors. I've seen a lot of it, and that did not influence this mood board. Surprisingly, it did not. This mood board was already created before all that started, but it's definitely timely for what's trending out there. A lot of people creating the art with the sunflowers, and I thought this was a pretty picture. It went with my background, and it would be fun to collage a torn paper sunflower. So I tore a kind of oblong, like an oval circle shape, out of the brown piece that has some circles on it. One thing that you can do with the mood board, if none of the pictures interest you at all, like we have a dancing person, we have some grapes, we have a sky over a mountain, and we have the sunflower picture. If none of that is interesting to you at all, you can just use the shapes inherent in the photos. And in this case, we have a circle in the middle of the sunflower, and then we have circles on the grapes. So you could do something abstract with circles. We all love circles, right? Circles is an awesome shape. And so you could just do that. Make it real simple and not use any of this other stuff that's on there. It's just about getting started, getting something going in your head just from looking at this. That's what the Mood Board Challenge is about. There will be a new one coming out on May 1st and June 1st. I've already made those two. And one comes out every month in addition to our Step Out Challenge, which has steps that you follow that go along with the theme. And then everything that we do for the group during the month is about the theme. I think I already said hashtag AJOS creative lettering is the theme this month. So using all different ways of using lettering and graphic images that are letters in your art. So I'm definitely doing that, right? I'm definitely doing that. So I got all kinds of letters on there, small ones, big ones, all kinds. So I am making sure to vary all the colors of the petals. I've got oranges, I've got dark yellow, light yellow, almost white, kind of a rusty color, because when you're looking at something like a flower, it's not all the same color. Depending on the light, you can get all different variations of colors just in this one thing. Some people would look at that sunflower and say, okay, it's a yellow sunflower. Because in our head, we know it's a yellow sunflower, right? We know that. Sunflowers are yellow. Duh. But it's not all one color of yellow. Not even close. And in fact, this one has more brown than anything in this photo with a little bit of orange and a little bit of a brighter yellow. I didn't make it exactly the color of what's going on in the picture, but I did pick a lot of different pieces of paper and I tore them in petal shapes, trying to make some of them curved, some of them straight, some of them pointy, some of them less pointy. And then I'm using matte gel medium. This is Liquitex brand gel medium. I like it, the thicker viscosity. And I am putting it just down on the substrate onto the page and then pushing my petals down into it and going over the top of them to seal them down, make sure there's not any creases or bumps or bubbles by pushing with this stiff brush. This brush is a Distress Collage brush from the Ranger Tim Holtz line. It's got nice stiff bristles, so when I press down, I get a seal over the top of the paper and it presses out any creases or bubbles in my paper. And that's how I get it very well sealed down to the page, and everything will stay on there no matter what. And I prefer matte myself. I see a lot of people who do collage using the gel gloss type. I like things to be matte. I don't really want a bunch of gloss. So once I had my petals all glued down and layered, I realized that I thought my center was too big. Maybe it wasn't actually, because sunflowers have a very large center and smaller, shorter petals. But I thought for my creative license and my artistic brain, it seemed too big. So I tore it down and made it smaller. And that now makes my flower look more like a daisy or something instead of a sunflower. But it's a sunflower. I'm sticking to it. So I had added some green for a stem, and now I'm going to put some little leaves coming off the stem. The sunflower has big leaves that come off in intervals all the way down the stem. It's not just like one leaf. It's got a bunch of them. So I'm putting 3 of them on there. And these are just green paper that I'm tearing into a random leaf shape, gluing down on there. In the same way, you have seen it all the way through. This actually went a lot faster than I thought, and I was done with it like a good half an hour before the show was over and I had to do a different project. So this was quick. Usually collage takes more time, but I was able to complete it very quickly. So I've got my collage portion of the page on there now, and I am going to do a little bit of shading. And this is still wet, even though I do give it a dry, I think, with a heat tool. I think. Pretty sure I did. Maybe not. Maybe that's why it was still wet. Anyway, I didn't want to use a pen because I would get matte medium into the nib of the pen and ruin it. So I decided to use a pencil. A pencil or a crayon, you don't have to worry so much about it being glumped up and getting yucky and ruined when you go over the top of something. So I guess I never did dry it. I thought I did. Anyway, it's not very wet. Um, so I've got a pencil. This one is kind of a Payne's gray, which is a dark, dark blue. And it's an Inktense pencil, which is made by Derwent. And once it's water activated, it's permanent. Not that I'm particularly worried about it in this application inside of an art journal. This page is going to be shut. Nobody's going to know. But going around the shapes with the pencil, and then I'll use a water brush to kind of blend the lines so they don't look so pencily, and kind of fatten and feather them out a little bit. You can use any kind of watercolor pencil, Stabilo, or whatever kind of watercolor pencil you have. I just happen to have this really dark blue one that I like to use. I didn't want to use black because there's nothing really black on the page. It's more about the colors of the mood board. So blue was an option, and that's what I decided to use. So if you guys haven't joined Art Joy of Sharing yet, it is an art community on Facebook where we offer these inspirations and challenges, and it's a very loving community that you can post your artwork and people will give you positive feedback. We don't allow any negativity or nastiness in the group, and so we'll be happy to have you join. There's a link below the video. Just click on that, and then be sure to answer the 3 questions that come up. Say where you found us from, and then answer the questions so that we will accept you. If you don't answer the questions, we don't, because there's robots out there that just randomly join groups in order to advertise, and we don't want any of that type of stuff in the group. So we're very particular about people answering the questions. Also, if you enjoyed my video, you can give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can also join my channel membership for $1.99 a month and get exclusive video content, real-time teaching type content that's only for members every month. So that's something you can do as well. You can also use my links and things like that if you want to support the channel. I have a PayPal donation button, and I use affiliate links occasionally when I remember to put them in. So here I am being still very annoyed by that line at the top of the page where that was the edge of the stencil, and so I'm just finger painting now. I've got some white, some Naples yellow, and some of that fuchsia pink purple color, and I'm finger painting and trying to get rid of that line and camouflage it and get everything blended together. So that did help. It was really getting on my nerves. Don't like lines on my page. So pretty much the last thing I did was to stencil the word love from this same DecoArt stencil. And I did add a little bit of shading to that with my pencil. And I think that my page was mostly done at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. I actually really like it. So surprisingly, I went into the studio with no plan, and I made something that I really enjoyed. Maybe it's because I like these colors. I like the graphic look of the letters in the background. I think that looks really attractive. I enjoy that look. So I'm very happy with it. And anyway, that is it for me. Here comes your close-ups. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.